Yo, what is up guys? Delboy here. So Josh Warrington defeats Kid Galahad by a split decision to retain his IBF featherweight title. Now this decision online has gone down as controversial. I've got to be honest, I felt Kid Galahad won this fight. The fight itself was ugly, it was messy, there was a lot of holding by Galahad and Warrington as well, to be fair, but mainly Galahad. And yeah, it just wasn't a pleasant watch in any sense of the word really. But having said that, I felt Galahad won the fight. He was the guy who was dictating the rhythm of the fight throughout. You know, he'd done a really good job of slowing down the pace of the fight. He'd done a really good job of lowering Josh Warrington's work rate and volume. He did that by backpedaling, by switching between southpaw and orthodox. And Warrington really struggled when Galahad was a southpaw. You know, he also used some good upper body movement that confused Josh Warrington. And also, as I mentioned, he did clinch quite a lot in this fight. So Galahad, by hook or by crook, did a good job of lowering Josh Warrington's punch output. And he done a good job of bringing the fight down to his pace. So in that sense, he was the ring general. He was kind of dictating how the fight was going, and not only that, throughout the rounds he was the guy who was landing the eye-catching shots, some lovely uppercuts, some nice jabs to the body and head. Also the lead left hand out of that southpaw stance was a very good punch. Kid Galahad, you know, he disguises that shot very well, doesn't telegraph it at all, and he was catching Josh Warrington with that shot fairly regularly. And also Kid Galahad done a good job of working the body, and I think that's another reason why Warrington was a bit subdued in this fight. That's another reason why he wasn't really applying the same amount of pressure he usually does. I honestly believe Galahad's bodywork really got to Josh Warrington in this fight. I felt his bodywork was very effective. Galahad picked his shots extremely well, and I believe that aspect of his performance went unnoticed because it was very effective. So all in all, I felt Galahad was the boss in there. He was the guy who looked in control, he was the guy who looked comfortable, and I felt he won a really bad fight. That's how I feel about it. You know, Josh Warrington, of course, he had some success. He landed a few good flurries here and there, but very little clean got through. All of the clean shots, for the most part, were coming from Kid Galahad. Now, Galahad, he could have been a bit more active with his power shots, his body shots, which were very effective, like I said. But regardless, I still believe he won that fight. Maybe he's paying the price for clinching so much, and maybe being a bit too negative in certain rounds. But there we go. Josh Warrington retains his belt by a split decision. Like I said, I felt Galahad did enough to win the fight. And usually when I see a fight which is very close, and I felt the other guy won, I would call for a rematch. But in this case, let's just leave it. Let's move on. I don't really want to see that fight again, if I'm being honest. The fight itself was poor, it was messy, it was clinchy, and yeah, I don't really want to see that again. Does this really affect my opinion on Josh Warrington? Not at all. I mean, Kid Galahad is an awkward guy. I think he can make anybody look bad, and that's his style. So yeah, I'm not surprised Josh Warrington looked bad, if I'm being honest. And it really doesn't affect my opinion on Josh Warrington. I still feel the exact same way about him, you know. He's a good fighter who can apply good pressure, but, you know, there's certain styles out there that are going to cause him problems. And I've gone on record in saying I don't believe he can beat any of the other champions, but I've been wrong about Josh Warrington before, so I wouldn't completely rule him out. And yeah, I believe Galahad was just a bad style for Josh Warrington. But yeah, not a great fight. I really don't want to see it again. Where do both guys go from here? I mean, Warrington, the natural step is to unify. That's what I want to see from him. As for Galahad, I mean, God knows. God knows, but I'm sure he can come back. He's only 29 years old. He's still got time, and he needs to work on a few things, but he does have good skills. Just needs to be a bit cleaner with his work, less clinching. He needs to be a bit more active, and we can go from there. But yeah, Kid Galahad can definitely come again, but I just don't want to see that rematch, if I'm being honest. But yeah, share your thoughts below. Peace.